George. And then some other talented, gorgeous people that you're going to get introduced to as we go along our way. On a day like this, I didn't sleep much last night. I had to tell you a big mistake after a show. Adrenaline pumping, World War III kicks off. I'm like, what the fuck? So I've been hooked up to Donald Trump for the last 24 hours like a lunatic. And on the internet, there's every type of opinion. You're an idiot. You're a this and you're a that. What about if I'm an everything? What about if I love everyone? Unconditionally. But no, I don't agree with people being killed for no reason. So, especially when it's women and kids. And innocent teenagers, man, with the whole future in front of them. So, sorry if it's not trendy to say it, but this is more of a sort of rescue situation than anything else. So you gotta hope that the next thing will be fucking amazing. More emotion. The next thing will be amazing. Feels like the whole world is waiting for something worth celebrating. The next thing is gonna be amazing. The next thing will be amazing. Feels like the whole world is waiting for something worth celebrating. Drawing on the past with the outline was made. He had my feet all over his face. Fixing everything, scratching the pain. We never want to fall. The next thing will be amazing. Feels like the whole world is waiting for something worth celebrating. The next thing is gonna be amazing. Can you see that this was just a mystery? I was the same, you the gatekeeper. You got some out, but the music got sweet. Look at the snake all over my face. Fixing nails and scratching pain. We never fought before. The whole world is waiting for something worth celebrating. I just remember that song really came after this insane mediation. I was going to say meditation, that would have been more helpful. But it was a mediation with the ex-drummer. Didn't go well. Ooh. Have you ever tried to fight a Virgo over money? Okay. They do not surrender. But I went into the studio the next morning and I went, got an idea for a lyric. The next thing will be amazing. Because that's how you move on from one thing to another. Okay, that's that. And this is this. Good evening! Allow me to take you to the Church of the Poison Mind. That Natalie Palmer there. Now, somewhere in this room, someone is recovering from something or another.
Amen.
Something serious. Something really important, something like a bad haircut. Never been my problem because I've always worn hats. So nobody actually knows what's going on under here. More than you think, though. To all the people online who call me Baldy, I'm like...
These people are 13 here.
Not quite. Not quite Billy Idol, but close. But back to the subject of recovery. Obviously, every day you're recovering from yesterday anyway, but in my case, I've had a few things to recover from. And I remember when I said to my mum I got clean, she's like, and I thought it was such a big achievement, because obviously you go to meetings and everyone claps. My mum was like, just don't do it again. Straight to the point, you know. And one of the reasons I wrote this song was because I went to a meeting and I kind of suddenly had this revelation of how much I'd let my mum down, you know, in a real powerful way, and I was kind of quite emotional and I was expecting a big reaction from my mum, and she's like, don't do it again. In that beautiful Irish common sense voice. This song is called The King of Everything.
Let the demons win the fight. I got my flags to burn. You know I'm sorry for the times I hit you. I live on letting you down. You used to say it's only me, but I said tempting myself time and time again, like self-destruction also. I'm not your tear and a scarlet joy. I'll be the past and I'll hold you. You used to say that's so honestly. The king was crying and the dark of everything.
So, on the subject of wisdom, there is this theory that you get older and therefore, through experience, get smarter. Of course, that's not true. You do have to make some kind of effort to become different, to realise that being the joy in the room is a privilege. You know, bringing your absolute 100% self to every situation makes everything so much more magical. And I know what I'm talking about because I used to be so grumpy. I often see pictures of myself in the 80s when I should have been having the time of my life. Where's my powder puff? Where's this? Where's that? You know, and not really being present in the things that I was doing. And in the last 10 years, that has changed immeasurably. Being here is a beautiful experience. And learning to let go of things that are really unimportant, which is absolutely almost everything. You know, other than caring about the people you love and loving them in the true sense of that word. What does it mean? It's just not just a word. It means everything. And when you love someone, especially if you're a Gemini, you cannot get rid of us. I mean, you can try, but it doesn't work, as you can see. This one is called Letting Things Go. Jimmy! I was hoping for a little... Just something. They fall into pockets and they can't get out. Stuck in the corner, no room for a doubt. Alligator teeth, thorns in my bed. 20 years of thinking about what was said. If there's a ghost, there's a chance that the ghost can dance. I might take a seat. If there's a ghost, there's a chance of some sweet romance. I might see. Because of all I know, I'm learning to let things go. Let it go. Because of all I know, I'm learning to let things go. They fall into pockets and they can't get out. Stuck in the car with
city, still be like the boy I used to know.
Now, the first time we ever came to California, I mean, America it's not like the UK. Although, you know, when you go around the UK, places are different, people talk in different accents, but there is a sort of some familiarity. In America, like, every city is like a new country. And there's all these different rules that don't apply over here, that work. It's quite mad. But it's also quite invigorating from a creative point of view. And I feel like the first time I came to America, I was a typical sort of London, spotty, you know, no one could tell me anything, get lost, hate rule, you know, hate being famous. And then got to America and realised you were allowed to kind of celebrate being who you were, which is a sort of weird contradiction. Because in London, we spit them out. We have judges that wear wigs. You know, I grew up with drag queens on the TV, Danny LaRue, Dick Henry, so many, like, they were household names. They weren't weird, they were like family members, you know. And funny enough, actually, the day that we got our Grammy, you won't know who this is, but you can do a bit of Googling when you get home, it'll be fun, it's a fun story. There was a character called Danny LaRue, who was the most famous household drag queen in the UK. He had his own club, Sinatra went there, Judy Garland went, everyone went there. You know, he was this character. And I was sitting waiting to get my Grammy on the David Frost show with John Moss. And Danny LaRue walked into the room full, I mean, this is before RuPaul was even like a concept. He walks Danny LaRue and he goes to John Moss, "Hello, Jonathan." And I was like, how do you know Danny LaRue? It was a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Allow me to reintroduce Natalie Barber. She's been very shy, or maybe not reading the set list. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright. How are
Nice
you?
to see you. It's been a while.
It's been like less
No.
than 2 months.
Obviously, we sent this song to Sia a couple of years ago, and you know Sia is fabulous, chandelier, beyond, mad, gorgeous, fabulous. Came to my show, sat in the front row, didn't come and say hello. It's too like kind of intimidated. But anyway, we sent her this song of ours and said, we'll play around with this. And obviously she's not here tonight. She's not very expensive. Although, so's, no. Let's hear what you do on this. And if you feel like singing along, it will become familiar and it's like...
My heart finds blindly. I choose my colors by the star. Precious people always tell me that's a step too far. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? Sometimes. Now there are some songs, you know,
I know people get upset when you mess with a recipe.
It's true.
Especially if it's an Italian recipe. In the UK, they get very upset. The good news is this particular dish, remains untempered. It is a classic, and it's really a tribute to the music that we grew up loving. When I was a kid, obviously I was a glam rocker. I loved David Bowie and T-Rex and The Sweet. But I also loved like Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, Gladys Knight and the Pips. I was a posh kid, Sly and the Family Stone. I wasn't some lightweight, I was into some Nina Simone. Remember the first time I heard Nina Simone, I was like, what? How does anyone feel that much? You know, and it's, what I love about this particular song, obviously it's a tribute to those people, Smokey Robinson, particularly Gladys Knight, who I used to sit in my room and listen to in the dark when I could get rid of my brothers. Just put on Gladys and the Pips and just listen to that voice. And then sort of mix it with a bit of Bowie. Throw in a bit of Rod Stewart and come up with some Boy George and Culture Club. And some geezer from Hammersmith on the bass. Some geezer from Michael Craig. What be your star? And then of course Roy Hay over here from Essex. But they're currently residing in California. And this one's called Time Clock of the Heart.
Save me reality. This could be the best place yet. But you must overcome the fear. Who in time could give so much. The time is precious, I know. In time could give so much. The time that you should be hard. Time won't give me time. Time is a lover's me. I think I something, but you and me, we know they got nothing but time. And time won't give me time. Give me time. Don't make me feel inadequate. Time is like a clock in my heart. Touch me, touch what we need to rush. I felt I lost you for the start. Ooh, in time, could be so much. And time is precious, I know. In time, could be so much more. The time you should be kind. Time won't give me time. Time is the lover's feel.
viva. I said, I do love a bit of jazz. Just after last night, actually, I was just warming up because I tell you, I was awake the entire night. I know it's very unprofessional. And I didn't do it out of disrespect to you lot. I just was like, this is insane. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm glad we're all having a fucking great time. Now, honestly, the internet, I mean, everyone's got an iPhone, right, or some device. You looked up, right? You don't go on the internet. Joan? Don't tell me you got a room full of really super intelligent human beings that just don't engage. You're lying, you're on there the whole time, like me. But I have discovered, through a bit of experimentation, see, I'm very lucky. Once I get this off, I'm very undetectable. I can get on the bus, I can go on the tube. I mean, I get clocked by a few people. They say, you sound like Boy George. Or they get my eyes. Sometimes I stick a pair of sunglasses on. But I am also kind of cool with people coming up to me. I don't get offended. I actually love it. How did you recognize me? And one of the things I will say about London, I mean, obviously, we came to America. We weren't one of those bands that were like, we've got to conquer America. It wasn't really a concept because we were punks. I was a punk. The idea of conquering things was just like weird. In fact, in those days, a career, like talking about career was like some weird, like, and here we are, all these years later. And it's been a wonderful career. And London, if you look on the news, you think it's a right dump. Everyone's insane. But then, you know, my brother came to America last year and he goes, everyone's really nice here. And I goes, yeah. Because I thought they were going to be really unfriendly. He goes, no, they're not. Right? A bit like London. London is definitely not burning. This is my announcement tonight. And I'd like your involvement because a lot of good things came from London via America. We're in this together, people! Let me see those hips. Some sugar. Looked at me funny. I was wearing makeup and I called him. The silence was deafening. Those so-called patriots, they think they're mad. But people who come from around here don't even talk to each other. I struggle to call my brother. We're like boats on the sea. Everyone's one of us. Emotional refugees. Every last one of us. Trust me. London is not dying. The line of fire is slowly turning. And you can't trust politicians anywhere. But believe me, it's too late. London calling, America feeling, London calling. I said America feeling. Put you in a good mood, and now I'm going to bring you back down to reality. Such is the nature of Culture Club. We're like an oxymoron, happy and sad at the same time. That could be a big Gemini thing, we're air, we don't explain ourselves. What do you mean you don't understand me? What's wrong with you? There's a pile of washing up in the sink. Wash it up, Leo. Taurus. Oh, you did it! I won a medal. And relationships. I love asking people their star sign. I am that annoying person at a party that goes, hello, what's your name? What's your star sign? And some people get really pissed off. Blokes, especially Aries. I'm like, so. Remember, many years ago, there was no TV. They had a lot of time on their hands and they worked it out. Looking at the planets and the stars, and that was their TV, and they worked us all out, and we are all very predictable. Whether you like it or not, I mean, I am such a fucking Gemini. Totally. And what are you? You're a Taurus.
Leo.
Leo. And you're absolutely perfect for the role of my wife, my disgruntled wife. Okay, let me tell you the story so you can get totally involved. You basically are totally unreasonable. You've taken all the cupboard space, you know, you buy more shoes than you need and you only wear one pair. You know, not interested in what I think. You ask me what I'm doing and you don't even listen. Is there any chance that we could go back to our happy place a bit quicker, faster, to our happy ever after? You reckon?
I see after the sun.
Oh, she's trouble.
Leo!
You got your limit. I've got mine. Seems like my sense of humor won't help me this time. Where did you go when I looked away? Wanna be with you, now you who knows me. You changed. You love me, I've got time.
There's so much love for you in this heart of mine.
Lost in the mood of how things should be.
One little smile from you
And my soul is free.
That's on Sunday, that's on Monday, Tuesday you lose me, Wednesday you confuse me,
But I'm here to stay. Whatever I say. Big thanks to Natalie Palmer there. And actually, now, funny enough, actually, faster is a little bit of a good word for the next song, because when I was like 16, I was walking around South East London dressed as a nun. I mean, nobody really thought I was a nun, but there were people who didn't like it and didn't get my sense of humour. Other days I'd be dressed as Boudica, who was the sort of, warrior. I was obsessed with women when I was a kid. Like Susie and the Banshees, Polystyrene, X-ray specs, Ari Up in the Slits, one of the greatest punk bands ever that no one knows about, Pauline from Penetration, so many girls with these fierce, and I loved kind of women like Joan Collins. A woman that would take a cigarette, put it out on a plate of prawns, which I really wanted my mum to do. I was longing for that day when my mum was too well mannered to do that, but it was a metaphor for like wanting my mum to be like those fierce, and she was. I just didn't realise it when I was a kid. I didn't realise that she was a fierce suffragette warrior, tank, amazing person. That allowed me to be me, even though she didn't really like the idea of what I was up to. In the end, she was like, all right, I surrender, because allowing me to be me allowed her to kind of really let go of her own sort of, creative impulses. She used to make me the most amazing costumes, some of which I still have. One of the things that used to happen in the 70s, obviously, there was like tribal, cultural, sort of war going on. There was like punk rockers and rastas, mods and rockers, skinheads. And if you didn't have the right clothes on, you could get chased quite a long way, So Faster was one of my favourite ones. I was like, shit, skinheads! But the thing about authority, it is quite sexy. And at this age, I'm like, okay, I get it. This one's called Skinhead Storm! Here they come, by the boots, sips and light, sign or stems, let's be no plan. You crack the look before you crack the look. It ain't sex, it's silhouette, Jordan short, sweat on it, red paint clean, Levi's hat, look alone, can't stop. Fashion lurking where it's show why you fire. You don't look, you dark the thing. I don't try to rest on the no romance. I'll just hide. Love left in my hand. Of the cup, of the stain. Body, OCL, sometimes scoop, slip back. You want the look, not the lie. The lie, the girl's the lie. Silence, fashion, that's the lie. Fashion say what you don't want to buy. You say I say stop. That's the tension, that's the lie. She ain't some rude by grace, style red on a moving face. Style was empty. No delay, man. No, I'm not. Wait. Chill out. Is there a curfew? No, there's no curfew. Unless you want to leave. Don't do that. Just get warmed up. Now, back in the 80s, Mikey, we were in the studio, Mikey brought in his friend, Jermaine Stewart. What was that song about? Was it taking your clothes off or on?
We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time.
And I remember thinking, that's so my anthem, because I like getting dressed. For me, nudity is the enemy of fashion. The idea of getting naked. Well, I think you and me are the same thing. We like dressing up, don't we?
Yeah.
Clearly. What have you come as tonight?
I don't know, some
Love
sort
it.
of
It's
drag
like-
queen, I don't know.
They'll find out soon enough, though, won't they? We'll find out how you get to wear that outfit on the stage at Culture Club. You'll see. I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but
I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but
bet you had a good girl. Bet you to have some fun. You turn it around on me, because I'm better than the rest of the night. I said you're whiskey, and you always do. I said you're whiskey, now would I lie to you? Now there's no need to let go. I'll teach you it will never be sure. In the way that we it's like you are still alone. I know you miss me. 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 Bet you make a fool. Bet you to make it better forever. But you know I'm never really sure. I just used to be better. I swear you're with me. And always I swear you're with me. Now when I lie to you, I don't need to let go. I teach you that you'll never be sure. In the way that you just too much like me. Yes, I feel I'm straight up on. I can't stop. That I have to give money there. And you make you look, you make you go, but I know that you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me. so back under the telescope. Is it nice though? Is it gorgeous? Is it a compliment? Because, you know, sometimes when you go on the internet, you're like, you know, you put something up, something really beautiful, and people so loving, and then you get the one person who washed up has-been. And I always say, well, I've got your attention. Something must be going right. You know what I mean? One of those moments. Because I am the idiot that replies, because I do really think it's human to, even if someone's got 14 followers, you know, I've even done things like made a song and sent it to someone that's been rude to me. Dear Angela, stick it where the sun don't shine. Dear Angela. I mean, I get really involved because that's what Geminis do, do you know what I mean? And this song, let's just say you don't know it, but you do know it because it's very familiar. And I want to dedicate it to the amazing Neil Sedaka, who we just lost when I was a kid. These are the sort of songs we dreamed of writing, these beautiful, you know, simple, clever, emotional ballads. Oh God, someone's got me. Oh, I feel bad now. I'm going to sing a really sad song. But knowing you, like, it'll put you in a good mood. Anyway, this one's from Neil Sedaka, and it's called She's Lying. There's no connection. This is the sound of a pin drop, and I really mean it. You say the truth is elastic, sometimes it comes back with a sting. If I dare to speak the truth, am I risking everything? If I dare to defend myself in this age of rain, I could bleed here alone, but while an empty state, she's lying completely. She's lying for a day. She's lying and dying for fake rain. It's too late, can walk away. You say I'm all of these things. Let's hope it's not back and stay. Or do you like pain? Only through the window. Only through the keyhole echoes in your soul. She's lying completely. She's lying for a day. She's lying and dying to be said. It's too late, can't walk away. She's lying for dead. She's lying and dying for fate. It's too late, can walk away. She's lying completely. She's lying for dead. She's lying. It's the end of a rebel day. It's too late, can walk away. Now, obviously, I talk a lot. I'm not as bad as Cyndi Lauper. She is unbelievable. I love her so much. But I went to play with her a few months ago, and she talked for about 20 minutes. And they complain about me. I'm like, baby, I can shorten the story. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, you know. And also, it is, I think, a measure of your relationship with the audience that you can actually talk to the audience. I used to be so scared of you lot. It's like, oh, what are they thinking? They're judging me. Now I know you are, it's fine, I'm over it. And one of the people that really taught me my trade was obviously David Bowie. And I got to see him when I was 11 and a half, which, when I think about it, I managed to get my dad to buy me a ticket to see Ziggy Stardust. We're not talking about David Bowie, we're talking about Ziggy Stardust. It was like otherworldly, alien, planetary stuff. And I managed to get my dad, because my dad was a terrible gambler, he would take me to the betting office and I'd sit outside, and obviously if he won, he'd be delighted, and he would say, "Don't tell your mother." And I would swoop in and get a few pounds off him for whatever I needed. Dad, I need a pair of Vivienne Westwood bondage trousers. How much? 70 quid. What the f? And I was like, I won't tell Mum. My dad did that thing, he left the betting slips in his coat, which is always a giveaway. Anyway, the David Bowie that you know and love, sort of really started around the era of this song, Let's Dance. If you say what, I'll come with you. If you say I, it'll because my love for you will break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms and tremble, How are we doing, Bethlehem? I think it's like the third or fourth time we've been here. I remember one time we came and we played out by the Steelworks outside. It was very cool with that backdrop, with the industrial Pennsylvania shit going on behind us. We love that. You having a good time? It's a pretty good show, huh? We've been doing this a while. Everyone's come down the front now. It's going to be fun. Ready for some more songs? Alright, let's see what we can do.
Nowadays have groups that are up here. And you know two main members and stuff that just go together with them. I mean, that's pretty cool. Are we getting up? Yes, we're getting up. We're getting up. Everybody's gonna go. Everybody's gonna go.
I've been around for long years ago, and I've been so happy. I was around in the blue, had a moment died on the road. They showed that I had power, washed his hands and seas fill. I stuck around and saved the world. I saw this kind of fortune. I couldn't fly his wings, and the sun just screamed. How quickly by the beauty ways that the days were young and baby. I shot at who did the pennies. stage, whatever it is, costumes, makeup, lighting, music, Mr. Kendall. One of the coaches on The Voice in the UK, and this man, also in Gemini, told you that you can't get rid of him. Just become your best friend. Be like you and me. Hey! I'm Naturals! I know, talking about myself. Just checking you out loud. I'm loving those boots. In the white boots. Working all out with a bit of bass. It's gonna be colder.
Of the decades who got the big man.
This instrument holds the whole thing together. Get you in a whole lot of trouble. All the time. Chilean.
Hitchhike away across the city. Got to happens on the way. Shake the legs of it. Take a walk for a while. Hey, hey, hey. Take a walk. Every Joe, everyone's good. Everybody had to do it.
On the bass, like come on guitar and vocals, Mr. Lonely. One day in the 70s, I was watching TV and this man came on. I swore he was singing to me. It wasn't Bowie. It wasn't Bowie, although I already had a conversation going on with Bowie, of course. This man was like, I drive a Rolls Royce because it's good for my voice. Who writes that? Only Mark Bolan, that's who. what's a night out with friends without a little dose of karma? Do you love your alcohol? Do you find listen to your language? I'm living without picture. I'm living, you don't know. I say so, a contradiction. You could go, you could go. Thank you so much. So we and Mikey and our friend Sadie were on a bus together for the first time since 1982. We haven't been on a bus since right at the beginning, you know. We first came to America, we did the buses, and it's insane. Actually, I love the bus. I have to say, I mean, jets are okay, but they're very expensive. And on a bus, and I don't know, I feel grounded, you know, I feel earthed. I feel like, and we have the most brilliant bus driver who is a Libra and he's the most tidiest man I've ever met. Unfortunately, he's not my persuasion, otherwise I'd take him home. But that's another story. But thank you so much, America, for giving us love, you know. I know you don't give it away too easily. You're not a cheap date. And this song, and we're supposed to finish with Karma Communion because that's what the rules say, but fuck the rules, cite the rules. So a few years ago, I went around to my best friend's house and her daughter, I hadn't seen her for a while, she was like 14 and fierce. You know, when you're like, drop-dead gorgeous girl, 14, and she was wearing the most insane eyeliner. It was like, so precision. And I was like, oh, I like your eyeliner. She was like, it's like these kids have got no idea who they're dealing with. They see you in your semis and they think you're one of them. Like, no, darling, I am eyeliner voodoo all night and day. So I went home that night and I was thinking about what made us make music. Why did we do it? What were we trying to say? You know, I love writing. That's my favourite thing. I don't really care about singing. Some of my favourite singers have got the worst voices ever, and I just love them because they know how to tell a story. And I couldn't give a shit whether you can sing big notes. It doesn't mean anything. It's like wearing a big fur coat. It doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it just means you're really insecure. I have a message for you if you're other. Let me say this, I hate getting political, but let me just say this. Only in a world that is absolutely diverse, only in a world that is absolutely diverse, where anything is possible, could I be a big star in America. Despite all my apparent problems, which don't seem to have changed any of you, you were all exactly the same as I remember leaving you all those years ago now. And some of you are more queer, and some of you are more straight, you know. Barb here, she's got rated kids, and she still comes to see me. I love you so much, by the way. Representing Canada. And Christine Holland, the most insane person who goes everywhere I go, including to the shops. Sometimes I go out for a pint of beer, a pint of milk, and I'm like, hello, Christine. Isn't that good? Oh, Susan. You obviously love her loads. Good. Drawing attention to you. You okay with that? Men, they never get it, do they? Anyway, so I went home and I was thinking about what I was like when I was that age. In fact, it went on for a lot longer. Like when people used to give me a compliment, like, yeah, because when you go out and people say, what are you wearing? What they really mean is, where did you get it from? How much did it cost? And I'm a cheap bitch. I go to Walmart, Primark, I love bargains, I customise, recycle, I go to the thrift shop, I love a designer good. If it's free, I'm like, oh yeah, thanks Gucci, cheers. No money, I'll get it back. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, identity is art. We are all pretending to be someone we're not, all of us. Even if you think you're normal, you're nuts. It's like, I was watching a slug the other day and I thought, he probably thinks it's the bullet train. This thing was like just there and I thought, I have more in common with a slug than I do with most people. Don't give up. You are always enough. Don't give up. Or maybe don't act tough. Just for you. That's all you need to do. You are pure love, inside and outside too. Don't give up. You are always trying. Don't give up. Or maybe won't have time. Just be you. That's all you need to do. You are pure love inside and outside you. And there's only love and there's no more life. When the dark will go where the passion flies to the beauty parts of the winter sky. You thought you were part, but you were consumed. You are always enough. Don't give up. And when you go back to just be you. That's all you need to do. Stay true. It's the same, I'm told.